Hey! So I filmed and edited this video in the beginning of August, and then the entire thing got deleted, so I gave up hope and never opened Final Cut again. But by chance, a few days ago, I clicked on Final Cut, and bam, the video's back. So even though it is now September, here's a 24-hour readathon from August. Hey friends, what's up? I'm dog sitting for my grandma and this dog is just crazy town. Aren't you? Crazy town. Anyways, what are we doing today? Today we're gonna film a 24-hour readathon. I'm super excited because I've low-key been in a reading slump. Not like an official slump because I am still reading books, but I'm not particularly enjoying any of the books I'm reading. I don't know, I'm in some sort of weird slump vibe thing, so I'm hoping this will get me out of it. What books do I have to read? First and foremost, I brought my Kindle. Me and two of my home friends, we have a book club, and our book club book this month is The Summer of Broken Rules. Book club is in a little over a week and I haven't started the book yet, so what better time to read the book than during this 24-hour readathon. Plus it's like a cute lighthearted romance, so I feel like that could help me get out of the slump. The other books I have, The Tenant by Freida McFadden. I love Freida McFadden. Sometimes she can be hit or miss, but when she misses it's just like a 4 or 4.5 star book, so that's fine with me. I feel like sometimes her twists don't like hit as hard, but there were a couple of her books. I think The Boyfriend and Never Lie are two of my like favorite books by her. Those were so good, so I'm really hoping this is a good one. We have that. I'm also a little bit into Heir of Fire. For some reason, guys, I just can't get into this series. I can't. Everyone keeps telling me this is the book where it like finally picks up speed. I'm trying so hard. Okay. You're going crazy right now. He like hates when I give attention to anything that's not him. And then I have Parents' Weekend by Alex Finlay. This is another thriller. 2 thrillers because I feel like a fast-paced thriller can just help when you're in a slump. Like, this isn't that long. I think it could be good. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a girl. And then finally, I'm listening to the audiobook of The Locked Door by Freida McFadden. So 2 Freida options in this video. Side note, can we talk about how Audible doesn't tell you like what percentage of the book you're into? That pisses me off. Oh, I only have an hour and a half left of the audiobook. Those are my book options. We'll see how many I get through. Also, I'm gonna be doing this 24-hour readathon a little bit unconventionally. What are you doing? Anyways, I'm gonna be doing this readathon a little unconventionally. I'm not gonna sit and read for 24 consecutive hours. I don't have time for that. I have things like work and appointments and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is once I start reading, I'm going to set the 24-hour timer, and if I stop reading to go to sleep, to go to an appointment, etc., I'll stop the timer. And we're gonna see how many days it takes me to read for 24 hours. I'm hoping within today, which is Friday, and tomorrow, which is Saturday, I will be able to read for 24 hours. That might be high hopes. I really need to stop talking because I'm starting to get sweating and hot. I'm embarrassed. I don't know which book I want to start with. A couple of the booktubers that I watch, I've seen them like read the first couple pages of each book, and then that's how they'll decide which one they want to start with. I might do that. Let's do that and see which book we end up with. I just realized I forgot to start a timer. Ready? Let's go. I think I'm gonna go with The Parents' Weekend by Alex Finlay. Honestly, all 3 of the books caught my attention from the first chapter, which was like, which one do I want to start with? What is this book about? It says, in the glow of their children's exciting first year of college at a small private school in Northern California, 5 families gather over dinner and cocktails for the opening festivities of Parents' Weekend. As the parents stay out way past their bedtimes, their kids, 5 residents of Campisi Hall, never show up to dinner. At first, everyone thinks they're being college students, irresponsibly forgetting about the gathering or skipping out to go to a party. But as the hours tick by and another night falls with not so much as a text from the students, panic ensues. Later in the day, obviously. I've only read for an hour and 18 minutes. See, I started reading this book and then I got really tired and went to take a 30-minute nap and accidentally slept for 2.5 hours. But now I'm rejuvenated, so we're gonna dive back in. But while I was walking the dog, feeding him, and a colored little picture for my Mimi, I finished listening to The Locked Ward by Freida McFadden. So first book finished in this readathon, yay! I don't think it's 5 stars. I don't know. I was surprised by the ending, but it just didn't give me that crazy 5-star feeling. So I feel like it's like 4.5 stars, but that's fine. It's fine. I still really enjoyed it. I do recommend this one. I really liked it. It felt a little longer than some of her other books. But anyways, I'm gonna dive back into Parents Weekend. So far it's good. There's just a lot of characters to keep track of, but I'm sure as the book goes on, I'll enjoy it. It's also told in third person, so like there are multiple points of view, but it's third person, so it's not like we don't really get that much depth from each character, which makes sense because there are so many characters. I'm gonna keep reading. We'll see how far I can get into this tonight. In the front of the book, there's like this little thing that says Parents Weekend and has a description of all the families that are coming. So I keep having to like flip back to that to be like, wait, whose mom is this? Whose kid is this? Morning. It's Saturday now. A couple things here. So I got like halfway into Parents Weekend, eating it up. There's a lot of characters, but they're honestly not as hard to keep track of as I thought. And there's a perspective of the detective who's like working on the case of the missing college students. So I really like that perspective because it's low-key giving like Criminal Minds, Law and Order vibes. So I'm really eating that up. Hopefully gonna finish that later today. But my grandma and grandpa are coming home today, so I need to clean up. I have a lot of things I need to do, so I wanted to listen to an audiobook. I got The Summer of Broken Rules on audio, so I'm gonna start that. Oh, also, when the timer was at 3 hours and 46 minutes, that's when I stopped reading. I accidentally forgot to stop the timer, so now the timer is at 5 hours and 25 minutes. So I think basically I'm gonna read or listen to the audiobook for like an hour and a half without starting the timer, so that I'm like back caught up. This is why I can't do a 24-hour readathon. Let's get cleaning, let's get listening. Later in the day now. I've been listening to The Summer of Broken Rules literally all day. I've listened to 41% today. So far I'm really liking it, but it does just feel like a cute little summer book. I wouldn't say there's anything particularly standing out to me. I also feel like at some parts I'm like half listening, but like don't tell my book club that. I was listening when I was cleaning my grandma's house, when I took the dog on a walk, when I got my nails done, when I cleaned up my room once I got home. So I've been making good progress on it, but now that I have the time to just sit and read, I'm going to jump back into Parents Weekend. I got to about halfway. I'm on page 157. Less than 100 pages left. I have one theory, but I really can't guess where this is going, so I'm very excited to see how the story pans out. We're at 7 hours and 47 minutes. Something tells me this video is going to take a little longer to film than I thought, but I also think I'm going to be able to get through more books than I thought. I'm going to lock back in, hopefully finish this. Sunday. Yes, I know I'm in my pajamas. I worked this morning. It is now like almost 5 p.m. I'm not going out again, so why can't I wear my pajamas for the rest of the day? Sue me. An update. Last night I finished Parents Weekend by Alex Finlay. Loved it. I really enjoyed it. Very fast-paced, short chapters, really engaging story. I would really recommend it, but it wasn't 5 stars for me. It was, I think I rated it 4.5 stars just because it didn't give me that crazy 5-star feeling. Like for me, a book has to make me like really nervous if it's a thriller, cry if it's like a romance or something like that. And this book didn't do those things for me, so it's not quite a 5-star, but 4.5 for sure. Maybe even 4.75. 5. I really liked it and would recommend it if you like thrillers. And I definitely feel like this helped me start getting out of that reading slump vibe I was in. So after I finished that, I started The Tenant by Freida McFadden. I got about 50 pages in. I'm liking it so far, but I feel like I don't have a solid opinion yet because I've only read 50 pages and it is pretty long. Oh, I guess it's not that long. It's like 350 pages. Our timer is now at 9.5 hours. I'm going to clean up my room, fold some laundry. While I'm doing all of that, I'm gonna continue listening to The Summer of Broken Rules and I'm gonna start the timer again. So let's see how much I can read today. I have made it to the major plot twist and I spoiled it for myself. I do this thing when I'm reading where when I'm on the page that says chapter whatever, I go like this and put my bookmark where the next chapter is. So it's like, oh, I only have to get that far. I don't know, guys. I just do it. So there's like parts in this book, part 1. And I was like, okay, tonight I want to at least get to part 2, wherever that is. So I'm like flipping through the book and I find part 2. And literally, of course, you see how the part 1 page was like blank, like it just said part 1. The part 2 page says part 2 and then it says like some stuff underneath it. And that like basically spoiled the big plot twist for me. Yeah, but like it was still very twisty. And like if I didn't look at it, I wouldn't have had it spoiled for me. I'm hoping in this last chunk of the book, this last 100 pages, there will be more twists so I'm not like really upset that I got it spoiled. But it's literally my own fault. It's literally my own fault. No one else's fault, not the book's fault. I'm loving it. Literally, I've basically read this today. Oh, we officially hit the 12-hour mark, so we're halfway through the readathon. You know, 3rd day of the readathon and we're only halfway. Monday. I've been listening to The Summer of Broken Rules since I got out of work today, but now that I finally have nothing to do, I'm going to dive back into The Tenant. I have less than 100 pages left, so we are going to finish this tonight. It's only 8 o'clock, so we can do this. We can totally do this. Remember me? Yeah. It's a few days later. I have been reading. I just haven't updated you guys. So our timer is at 19.5 hours. Guys, this video is taking me so much longer to film than I thought. I had big hopes that I would finish this video over the weekend. It's now Thursday. Did I tell you guys I finished The Tenant? I literally don't even know. I finished this on Monday, so I read it in 2 days. It was so good. I loved it. I gave it 4.75 stars. I think it would have been a 5-star if I didn't spoil the big twist for myself. I still loved it though. If you need a fast-paced thriller, this is definitely one. Freida McFadden always has great twists. I just wish I didn't spoil this one for myself. I finished listening to our book club book, which is Summer of Broken Rules. I'm really sad because me and my friends just started our book club this summer. This is only our 3rd book that we've read together. The first book, Anxious People, 5 stars. Second book, Sunrise on the Reaping, 5 stars. This book, I don't know why I'm being like so critical of it, but it really just wasn't my favorite. I wrote down a lot of notes when I was listening because I'm gonna talk about it at book club, but I'll tell you guys a few of the things. First of all, I don't like when an author tries to be like cool and hip and young by using slang. I just don't like it. Like there was one part when someone was like, are you gonna post that on the gram? And I was like cringing so hard. It was just giving me the ick, especially listening to the audiobook. Second thing, the 2 main characters, Whit and Meredith, got together so fast, so freaking fast. The whole book takes place in 1 week. They meet each other for the first time and then all of a sudden they're like in love, obsessed with each other. Literally on like the 3rd day of knowing this guy, it's like implied that they have sex, and Meredith says something along the lines of like, I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else. Why are you saying like you wouldn't want to be doing this with anyone else when you just met this guy? Then when Meredith first gets to Martha's Vineyard, that's where the book takes place, she's like, I just want to spend the summer with my friends. I don't want to think about boys, because her and her long-term boyfriend just broke up. And what does she do the whole time she's there? Spend the summer with a boy. She doesn't not hang out with her friends like at all. So there's one part where one of her cousins, who's also her friend, confronts her and is like, hello. And I completely agree with the cousin. All of that said, it is a cute summer romance with elements of grief. And I think that the things I didn't like are because the book was YA. I am not a huge fan of YA. I barely read YA books. So I think that's why it wasn't a big hit for me. Then I think at this point I was at like 18.5 hours on the timer. I really wanted to start The Shining by Stephen King. If you guys follow me on Book Talk, then you know that I use a TBR jar to pick my TBR for this month. And the 3 books that I picked from the TBR jar were The Shining by Stephen King, Ted Bundy, Conversation with the Killer, and Homebody by Rupi Kaur. So I don't know why, but a few days ago I just really had this inkling to read The Shining by Stephen King. I've been like really wanting some fall reads, so I was like, this could be good. But then I was like, well, I only have like 5 hours left on the timer, so there's no way I could finish this book in this video. So I decided to go with Homebody by Rupi Kaur. It's a poetry collection. I read it in like an hour. Liked it. If you've read any of Rupi Kaur's books, this is pretty similar. Touches on politics, immigration, racism, being a woman, all these inspiring topics. So I loved it, just like I loved her other books. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was enjoyable, it was impactful. Then again, I was in the same boat of what do I read now? So I picked up my handy dandy Kindle and decided to continue reading the Mindfuck series. I started this series in the beginning of the year. I read the first 3 books back to back, and I don't really know why I stopped. I don't like reading series like all in a row. I like to take a break, but then I like shoot myself in the foot because then I completely forget what happened in the beginning, and then I'm like picking up the next book and I'm like, what the heck's going on? That's kind of what's happening right now. But 4th book in the Mindfuck series, it's called All the Lies. I'm only on chapter 3, but that's 20% through the book because it's such a short book. I think it's like 140 pages. Now I'm a little bit scared that I'm going to have to pick another book after this. We're just finishing so many books in this video. I'm gonna get back to work, but after I work today, I'm going to lock in and read this book and start our timer back up and see how much I can get through. Guess what, guys? Guess what? I have 30 minutes left on my timer. I read all the Lies. Now I'm on the last book in the Mindfuck series. I'm 54% through, so definitely not gonna finish it in these 30 minutes, but we're gonna see how close to the end I can get in the last 30 minutes of this challenge. Like a week later, but I need to film an outro for this video. So let's recap. Read for 24 hours. It took like a week, but we got there. We got through so many more books than I was anticipating. In the beginning of the video, I think I held up 4 books that I wanted to read. Definitely got through so many more. First, Parents Weekend, gave it 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed it. Definitely quick, fast-paced thriller, short chapters, a fun story. Nothing too deep, I would say, but great if you're in a slump. Great if you're looking for a quick little thriller to read for fun. The Tenant by Freida McFadden, I gave it 4.75 stars. Loved it. Spoiled the ending for myself, so probably would have been a 5-star, but for some reason it's just not that memorable in my mind now that it's like a week after I've read it. So I'm happy with my 4.75 star rating, but I would definitely recommend this, especially if you want to get into Freida McFadden. This is a good one. I also forgot in the beginning of this video, I finished listening to With the Locked Door by Freida McFadden, which I gave 4 stars. Also a great Freida book. Wasn't my favorite by her, but it was pretty good. Then we listened to The Summer of Broken Rules for my book club, and I ended up giving it 2.5 stars at the end of the day. It just wasn't for me. I'm not a huge fan of YA, but if you like it, then maybe you would like this. I also listened to the audiobook, so maybe I would have liked it more if I read the physical book. We'll never know because I won't be reading it again. Homebody by Rupi Kaur, gave this 4 stars. Definitely a lot of poems that hit hard in here. Some were as relatable for me personally. That's nothing against the book or the author. I still really enjoyed it. It was a quick read. Then we ended with the last 2 books in the Mindfuck series, All the Lies and Paint It All Red. Both of them I gave 5 stars. The series was definitely a 5-star series overall. Would 100% recommend it. It was like the perfect perfect mix of a romance and then true crime Criminal Minds vibes, and I just ate it up. It was like my two favorite genres combined into one. So in total we read 7 books in this 24-hour readathon. That is crazy, like actually crazy to me. I guess I'm a way faster reader than I thought. I've always thought of myself as a slow reader, but this video kind of proved me otherwise. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, follow my book talk, follow my Instagram, just follow me everywhere so you know we can be best friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.